This is the Intercontinental Broadcasting Corporation. Sa Bagong Pilipinas.
Good evening. This is 13 News.
Let's get into the headlines right now.
Former Senator Bong Revilla is now out on bail from 6 months of detention in relation to a malversation case.
Aside from investigations regarding ghost flood control projects, the Office of the Ombudsman announced that they are now conducting a preliminary investigation into what they call ghost electricity project.
Motorists may expect mild relief at the pump as diesel and gasoline prices are expected to slightly drop next week.
Malacanang reiterated that President Marcos Jr.'s approval to open the tax records of Vice President Sara Duterte and her spouse is not politically motivated.
And SB 19 takes Pinoy pop to the global stage with a historic Lollapalooza debut in Chicago.
All these and more on 13 News. First in the news tonight, former Senator Ramon Bong Revilla Jr. has been temporarily released after the Sandigan Bayan granted his petition for bail in his malversation case over an alleged flood control project in Bulacan.
While the Office of the Ombudsman said they respect the anti-graft court's decision, they still insist on having strong evidence of guilt versus the former senator. Greg Gregorio has more on the story.
Former Senator Ramon Bong Revilla Jr. has been temporarily released from the New Quezon City Jail after posting a 1 million peso bail. Revilla appeared before the Sandigan Bayan 3rd Division today following the anti-graft court's decision to grant his bail petition. This decision stemmed from the failure of the prosecutors to lay down strong evidence against the former senator. Revilla had been detained for more than 6 months while facing a non-bailable malversation case linked to the alleged 92.8 million peso ghost flood control project in Pandi, Bulacan. Revilla has repeatedly denied any involvement in the alleged anomaly. Malacanang, meanwhile, says they respect the authority of the Sandigan Bayan, but leaves it to the prosecutors to do the necessary action following this turn of events. The palace still hopes, though, that due process and justice will prevail. As for the Office of the Ombudsman, it also made it clear that they respect the orders and decision of the Sandigan Bayan, but they still stand on their own investigation and work, and that they will exhaust all legal remedies to insist that they really have strong evidence of guilt versus Revilla. Greg Gregorio, IBC News.
Meanwhile, Senator Ping Lacson released photos of alleged ghost projects in Taguig City, a political stronghold of Senator Alan Peter Cayetano. This as Lacson and Cayetano continue their saga over social media. IBC correspondent Daniel Manalastas has the full report.
As Senate Minority Leader Alan Peter Cayetano denied that he offered ceasefire to Senator Ping Lacson amid their word war and throwing allegations against each other.
Sabi ko, haharapin ko, ang hiningi ko nung tinanong ako, yung salitang ceasefire sa ibang senador na galing yon.
Lacson maintained that Cayetano sought ceasefire with him. The senator asked Cayetano of where is his sincerity when offering a ceasefire, then deny it at the first opportunity. Lacson's office released to the media pictures to prove of alleged existence of ghost projects in Taguig, a known Cayetano's turf, wherein it showed 4 different slope protection projects across different sites awarded to 4 different contractors, and allegedly used same geotagged photo and were all reported as completed, billed, and paid. While on the other pic, a couple of pictures with different dates. Lacson alleged that the gig system is virtually controlled by one, and no one can move unless it is with knowledge of Cayetano. Lacson already explained and answered the question of why just now and not before.
Na-prioritize lang. Dahil ang ingay-ingay niya. Pag nag-iingay ka, mapapansin ka eh. Pag nambato ka, kailangan malinis ka.
Ayun.
Kasi kung meron kang dumi, huwag kang mambabato ng putik kasi babalik sa'yo yun eh.
Ombudsman Jesus Crispin Remulla said they are already studying Lacson's documents on Taguig alleged anomalous projects.
Dumating na sa amin yung information na pinadala ni Senator Lacson. I-evaluate pa. We're evaluating it kasi nga, iba-ibang standard tayo. Andito ang standard kasi dito, kinakailangan, bago namin i-file, alam namin kompleto pati ebidensya.
Cayetano already denied that there's ghost projects in Taguig. Daniel Manalastas, IBC News.
And apart from what we normally hear about ghost flood control projects, the Office of the Ombudsman has now coined a new term about a ghost electricity project that they link to Senator Legarda and her lawmaker son, Representative Leandro Leviste. Juan Antonio has the full story.
The Office of the Ombudsman is now conducting a preliminary investigation regarding the complaints of plunder and graft against Senator Loren Legarda, Congressman Leandro Leviste, and former Energy Secretary Alfonso Cusi because of what the Ombudsman called a ghost electricity. The Ombudsman began its fact-finding investigation into the complaint last January of this year. According to Ombudsman Jesus Crispin Remulla, this can be considered major damage to the country because of the high electricity prices and violations of the law since after obtaining the franchise for the business, the company failed to provide any electricity services.
Kuryenteng hindi talaga kuryente. Na-kuryente lang tayo, ika nga. Yung kanilang pagkahawak ng eksklusibo sa solar ay talaga nagdulot ng damage sa ating republika. Sapagkat hindi naman sila tumupad sa kanilang dapat tuparin at hindi nila ginawa yung dapat nilang gawin.
The Ombudsman also stated that Senator Legarda was implicated after becoming an instrument for the congressman to obtain the franchise. The Ombudsman is now giving Senator Legarda and Congressman Leviste as well as former Energy Secretary Cusi the opportunity to respond to the complaint which is currently under preliminary investigation. Senator Legarda, meanwhile, said she has yet to receive any communication from the Ombudsman regarding this matter. But she was also quick to call the allegation as false and baseless. Legarda insisted that she has always upheld the value of integrity in her almost 3 decades of public service. Juan Antonio, IBC News.
In other news, Malacanang has assured the public that the government is working to reduce electricity rates. This comes amid growing concerns over the system loss charge, which has become a major issue for consumers. IBC correspondent Harley Valbuena has the details.
A small sari-sari store is the only livelihood of Salve. Hence, she struggles on paying the bills in their household, including the system loss incurred on her electric bill.
Bakit ganun? May binabayaran kaming hindi namin alam, di ba? Gigising ka ng maaga, maghanap buhay para lang may pambayad ng kuryente.
After the meeting of the Department of Energy, Energy Regulatory Commission, NEA, and other electric cooperatives, the ERC said they are now focused on lowering the power rates, especially the rates of Meralco.
Diniscuss natin with Meralco nang sa ganon ay magkaroon ng kaunti o bahagyang mitigation yung pagtataas na ito.
The ERC also continues active monitoring against abusive distribution companies as it issues a warning.
Ang parusa namin ay fine at ito ay magre-range ng mula 50 mil hanggang 50 milyones.
Malacanang Palace, however, assured that the predicaments of power distribution companies will not be ignored.
The objective is to lower electricity rates, and I ask for patience and cooperation of all stakeholders while we craft the policies. So, lahat po ito ay inaaral at bubuuin po ng hindi naman po masyadong burdensome din sa iba nating mga kababayan at sa mga investors and utility companies.
DOE Secretary Sharon Garin also said they are already studying the ERC regulations and other policies. Harley Valbuena, IBC News.
Workers in Metro Manila are voicing out frustration after the sudden suspension of a supposed 85 peso daily minimum wage increase that should have started this July. Labor Secretary Francis Tolentino expressed disappointment, but says the Labor Department will respect the ruling. The agency also clarified that those who have received their increase before the suspension won't have to give it back. IBC correspondent Victor Leontino has the full story.
Ismayado kasi ina-expect naming lahat po yun na bilang private po na manggagawa ay sobrang excited sana po namin na matanggap yon dahil malaking tulong po yun.
Mahihirapan itong mga ordinaryong minimum wage earner.
Halagang 85 pesos na dagdag sahod. Kumbaga, konting tulong, konting halaga lang naman na po yun eh. Tapos kinancel pa nila.
Intense frustration and anxiety grip workers in Metro Manila after court halted the implementation of the recently granted 85 peso wage increase. The workers' anger and alarm stem from the temporary restraining order issued by the Pasig Regional Trial Court, which blocked NCR Wage Order number 27. In its decision, the courts emphasized that petitioners had sufficient grounds for the TRO, noting that the immediate rollout of the increase could cause irreparable damage to businesses. Even the Department of Labor and Employment could not hide its sadness over the unfortunate ruling.
Medyo nalungkot din tayo dahil para sa kapakanan niya ng manggagawang Pilipino, subalit tatalima po tayo sa desisyon ng husgado.
But what about workers who have already received the first tranche or the first portion of the 60 peso increase from their employers?
So, hindi na dapat isauli yun. Lalo na ngayon, payday ngayon eh. Oo nga, payday ngayon. So, hindi na dapat isauli yan.
Lawmakers also sharply criticized the delay in the wage hike.
Isang malaking insulto po ito sa mga manggagawa na barya-barya na nga lang yung binibigay, ipagkakait pa, ibabawi pa.
Amid the tension, Secretary Tolentino called on employees and employers to remain calm and respect the legal process. Victor Leontino, IBC News.
Meanwhile, authorities are expecting fuel prices to go down next week. Local oil industry sources said that diesel prices may roll back by around 50 centavos to 1 peso per liter and gasoline by about 1 peso to 1 peso and 50 centavos per liter. These estimates are based on the 4-day trading of Mean of Platts, Singapore, the pricing basis of refined goods in Southeast Asia. Price increases were tempered after a proposed coalition to boost maritime defense around the Red Sea to be led by Saudi Arabia. Despite this, both diesel and gasoline products face potential supply tightness as geopolitical tensions continue to disrupt oil supply in the Middle East.
The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas or BSP projects July headline inflation to settle between 5.6 and 6.6% this month. The central bank said higher fuel prices, electricity rates, and fish prices, along with a weaker peso, could drive inflation higher. However, lower prices of rice, meat, fruits, and vegetables are expected to help ease price pressures. The BSP said it will continue to monitor inflation, economic growth, and developments in the Middle East. The Philippine Statistics Authority will release the official July inflation rate on August 5.
The trough of a low-pressure area, or LPA, is expected to bring rains across parts of the Visayas and Mindanao after the weather disturbance entered the Philippine Area of Responsibility, or PAR. Pag-asa said the LPA entered PAR at 2 p.m. today and has a low chance of developing into a tropical depression within the next 24 hours. Its trough is expected to bring cloudy skies, scattered rains, and thunderstorms over the Visayas, Bicol region, Quezon, Laguna, Marinduque, and the eastern sections of Mindanao, including Caraga, Davao region, South Cotabato, and Sarangani. Meanwhile, Metro Manila and the rest of Luzon will experience partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms due to localized weather conditions. Pag-asa advised the public to remain alert for possible flash floods and landslides in areas affected by moderate to occasional heavy rains.
Meanwhile, 2 waterspouts were spotted over Laguna de Bay in Rizal during a strong thunderstorm that swept across the area. Videos captured 2 large dark funnels forming over the lake, while thick storm clouds hung above the waterspouts. According to Pag-asa, waterspouts form when warm and cool air interact over a body of water, creating a funnel cloud that extends down the water's surface. Authorities reminded the public, especially fishermen and boat operators, to remain alert as waterspouts can pose serious risks to those sailing nearby. Coming up next, House Prosecutor Terry Redon files his counter-affidavit calling the criminal complaint against him retaliation ahead of the Senate impeachment proceedings. Stay tuned. This is 30 News.
Are you ready to open your mind? We're tackling topics others won't.
There should always be that collaboration between families, the communities, the school.
Most of the household, ayaw nilang pag-usapan anything about sex.
Or parang parang na-attract sila dun sa industry namin. Tigil nyo yan.
It's time to stop the stigma and start the science.
Because here on Naked Minds, we break the silence.
Naked Minds, every Friday, 10 p.m. on IBC 13.
Malacanang has defended President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s decision to allow the release of the tax records of Vice President Sara Duterte and her husband, Attorney Mans Carpio, to the Senate impeachment court. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said there would be no point in submitting the tax records if they would not be opened, saying the documents could serve as evidence for either the prosecution or the defense in the ongoing impeachment trial. Castro added that the president's approval was in accordance with the law, and it just followed the subpoena issued by the Senate Impeachment Court to the Bureau of Internal Revenue, or BIR. She also rejected claims that the president's decision was politically motivated, stressing that the administration is simply following due process and will not stand in the way of the disclosure of the truth.
House Prosecutor and Representative Terry Redon has filed his counter-affidavit in response to the complaint of VP Sara Duterte's husband, Attorney Mans Carpio. Attorney Carpio accuses Redon and other House Solons of having violated the Bank Secrecy Law and Data Privacy Act in scrutinizing their financial records. Redon described this complaint as a mere retaliatory move ahead of the Senate impeachment proceedings, where the BIR box containing Carpio and Duterte's tax records may soon be opened and scrutinized.
Ang kaso po ito ay tirang pikon ni Attorney Carpio dahil papalit na ang mundo ni Vice President Sara Duterte at ni Attorney Mans Carpio. Ito pong kaso laban sa amin ay panggulo, walang kwenta, pagsasayang ng oras, pagsasayang ng papel.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has launched Legis Here, a nationwide public consultation program. This initiative gives Filipinos the opportunity to share their concerns, feedback, and suggestions on proposed bills and existing laws. IBC News correspondent Earl Tobias has the full report.
With just weeks to go before the expected turnover of the proposed 2027 national budget, the House of Representatives has launched a new initiative called Legis Hearing. The nationwide public consultation aims to hear directly from Filipinos their concerns and suggestions on pending and existing laws. But House Speaker Faustino Bojidi III stressed that their effort is not about the chase of good survey rating, but about improving the public service of what he calls as the bagong Kongreso.
Ay, trabaho lang kami, with or without the sort. Nakita nyo naman kami sa Kongreso, tahimik po kami, nagtatrabaho po kami, ginagawa po namin yung aming mga responsibilidad.
The House Speaker had also already declared that only a well-reviewed and transparent national budget will be approved by the chamber.
Nakita naman natin kung maayos naman at nakita natin na merong reforma at nakita po natin na may transparency. Lalo pa natin bibigyan ng security measures to make sure na yung ating ipapasang 2027 budget ay talagang maayos.
Meanwhile, hundreds of residents from Speaker D's home province of Isabela attended the first ever legis hearing consultation. Many admitted they wanted to better understand how laws are made and whether their concerns are already being addressed through existing legislation.
Sa mga nangyayari ngayon sa school kasi is merong mga mass shooting or kung ano yung mga dapat na gawin ng ating bansa para po sa ganong act po ng ating mga kabataan.
Gusto ko pa-consulta yung RA 11131, also known as the Philippine Criminologist Profession Act of 2018.
Yun pong batas na para po sa aming federation ng BHW po.
The issues raised during the consultation were largely personal and community-based. According to Speaker D, that is exactly the goal of the program. During the event, he personally explained the lawmaking process to his constituents and encouraged them to take part in shaping legislation.
Hindi kami titigil. Kasi ang alam nilang lahat, syempre nakikita nila kami ay nandun, nasa legislative at yun ang ginagawa. Kinakatawan ng iba't ibang mga distrito ay marinig din natin. Nakita natin ang dami mga nanay na nandyan, may mga estudyante.
Among the House's legislative priorities, Speaker D said he is expecting tedious discussion of the President's push to remove systems laws being charged onto electricity consumers. Consequently, House Secretary General Cheloy Garafil said the Chamber's work will not be derailed despite the overlapping budget deliberations, impeachment proceedings, and the nationwide legis hearing consultations. Earl Tobias, IBC News.
Filipina tennis star Alex Ayala is set for the highly anticipated rematch against Ukrainian second seed Elina Istovolina in the quarterfinals of the 2026 Mubadala DC Open in Washington, D.C. The two will meet for the second time this year after Ayala defeated Istovolina in the quarterfinals of the Berlin Open on June 19. Ayala, the highest-ranked Filipina tennis player, advanced to the last 8 after eliminating defending champion Leylah Fernandez. Now she looks to repeat her Berlin victory when she takes on Istovolina tomorrow, August 1st.
From Manila to Chicago, SB 19 just turned up the heat on one of the world's biggest music festival stages. And yes, Filipino pop music just had another major global moment as the group became the first homegrown Filipino act to perform at Lollapalooza. Cheers echoed as more than 1,500 of 18 gathered to witness the historic milestone of SB 19. The Department of Tourism hosted a free watch party at the Rizal Park Open Air Auditorium where fans watched the live simulcast of SB 19's Lollapalooza 2026 performance from Chicago, Illinois. SB 19 performed some of their biggest hits, including Dam, Ganto, Mapa, Visa, and Dunka, delivering a world-class show to a global audience. Meanwhile, following their historic Lollapalooza debut, SB 19 is set to hold their I Was There Thanksgiving fan meet in California this August 8 and 9, before heading to Japan to perform at Summer Sonic 2026 alongside Beanie. President Donald Trump says a deal has been reached for the complete disarmament of Hamas, calling it a major step towards peace in Gaza. Trump said the agreement followed talks in Cairo and would be implemented in phases, with Gaza eventually governed by a new Palestinian administration. The agreement also includes Israel's military leaving Gaza. That is why Hamas made it clear that they would only surrender their firearms if there are no more Israeli forces in Gaza.
And before we wrap up tonight's newscast, we bring you the results of the PCSO's 9 p.m. lottery draws. For the Mega Lotto 645, the winning numbers are 5, 8, 29, 12, 38, and 31, with a jackpot prize of 15 million pesos. For the Ultra Lotto 658, the winning combination is 15, 18, 36, 54, 11, and 52, with a jackpot prize of 170,883,452 pesos and 24 centavos. For the 4D Lotto, the winning combination in exact order is 1, 7, 0, and 4. For the 3D Lotto, the winning numbers are 0, 9, and 7. And finally, for the 2D Lotto draw, the winning numbers are 24 and 31 in exact order. There is no winner for the Mega Lotto 645 and the Ultra Lotto 658.
Tomorrow is the perfect time to give your girlfriend those just because flowers, because it is National Girlfriend Day. Take this chance to make tomorrow a little more meaningful to the person who makes your days brighter and remind her how much she means to you.
And also for tomorrow, the University of the Philippines Diliman closes its gates to usual joggers and bikers in the campus. This as the university gears up for the UP College Admissions Test 2027 to 2028, happening this Saturday and Sunday, August 1 and 2. To make the UPCAT more accessible, UP has set up 118 testing centers nationwide from Region 1 to Region 8. Region 13 rather, including CAR, BARM, NCR, Mimaropa, the Negros Island region, and UP's own constituent universities. This wide coverage ensures aspiring scholar ng bayan can take the exam closer to home. Officials remind applicants, confirm your assigned testing center and plan your trip ahead of time. And for runners and bikers, UP campuses remain open every weekend for recreational sports, giving students and the public a chance to stay active. And those were the latest from the IBC Newsroom this evening.
We'll continue to monitor the stories that matter and give you updates as they develop. I'm Angela C.
And I am William Thio. This is 30 News. Thank you for watching. Good night. Have a nice weekend, everyone.